And welcome to this meeting of the Fairmont Area School Board. For roll call, all members are present with the exception of Julie Lowy and Jen. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You have the minutes before you. I'd entertain a motion to approve.
Make the motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you. A motion by Mike, second by Mari. Any discussion or changes? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. For the agenda, we have a green agenda before you with some noted changes.
I'll make a motion to approve the amended agenda.
Thank you. Motion by Mike. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mari. Any discussion or additions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. For celebrations and school community reports, first off this evening, we have our state speech report with Eric and Kathleen Walker, and I see Mr. Duffy, and I'm sure there's others in there. Go ahead and come on up and introduce yourselves.
Hi, thanks for having us here today. So our speech season is still going, so we're really excited to take some kids to nationals this summer, but we're excited to share with you some highlights from our state speech tournament. At the state speech tournament, we got third place in Class A, which is our second plaque since Eric and I have been coaching since 2015, so we're very proud of the kids. We had 2 individual state champions and some other accolades as well, so I'll let them talk for a bit.
Are there just 2 classes, A and AA?
My name is Elena Hafner. I'm a junior and I do original oratory. And my favorite memory from this season is the state tournament. And then specifically, my favorite memory was getting first place and then having my best friend Belle get second place. And speaking of Belle Luderman, she asked me to share her favorite memory. She's in 10th grade and she also did original oratory. And her favorite memory was the amount of energy and pride in our team and our speeches that we had before the first round at state. And that energy carried us all the way to the final rounds where Elena and I were able to take first and second.
My name is Sydney Bloomster. I'm a senior and my category is informative. My favorite memory from the season is at the state tournament at the award ceremony when I got to watch all my teammates up there and we got some state champions and we got third as a team.
My name is Allie Strite. I'm in 9th grade and I do prose interpretation. My favorite memory was attending the state tournament and watching the humorous final round.
Hi, I'm Zoe Tassif. I'm a junior. I do creative expression, and my favorite memory is when our team went shopping in Target.
I'm Clark Hazard, and I'm in 9th grade. I do extemporaneous speaking, and my favorite memory was just seeing all of the teammates do so good in the awards.
I'm Thomas Hamlet. I'm in 10th grade. I do humorous interpretation, and my favorite memory of the state tournament was seeing my teammate Leon Yang get first place in my category, so that was cool.
My name is Andrew Hafner. I'm a senior this year, and my category is extemporaneous speaking. My favorite memory from the state tournament was the awards ceremony and getting to see the overall success of our team, but also getting to see my little sister win state as a junior, and that was super proud to see as her older brother.
My name is Dominic Lundmai. I am a junior. I do international extemporaneous speaking, and my favorite memory from the state tournament is after the award ceremony where everyone was celebrating each other and was happy for all the accomplishments that we made over the course of the season.
My name is Grace Simpson. I'm also a junior, and I do duo interpretation. My partner is Oliver Thedens. He's also a junior, but he can't be here tonight. He wishes he could, though. I think I'm speaking for both of us when we say that our favorite memory from state was the community after the awards ceremony and how everyone was just so happy for each other and the happy tears and the happy hugs.
My name is Abby Pyman. I'm a senior. I did great speeches, and my favorite memory from the state tournament was after we were all done competing and we all were out of our suits and stuff. We all got in one hotel room and just talked about our highs and lows from the day, and that was definitely my favorite part.
Hi, my name is Leon Yang. I'm in 9th grade and I do humorous interpretation. And my favorite memory was probably hanging out with my peers in the hotel rooms after we won. Yeah, that was really cool.
Hello. I'm going to give a somewhat concluding thought to the collection of favorite memories from Target to the hotel room to after the tournament. So I tell people we have a good season a lot, but this year was a great season. We had some records set this season. We closed out oratory finals. We have the most people who qualified to the national tournament that we've ever had as a school. We have a few other awards this season, but it's been a great culture moving forward, and we have people who are hungry for success, who have a future on this program and many years to go. So it's been great, and thank you all for the support as always.
Yeah, and my name's Miles Duffy, and I'm going to keep it brief as well. This is I've spent 2.5 years with this speech team now. I am a former Fairmont High School grad, and so a former participant on the Fairmont speech team. I graduated in 2007. And I just have to say, beyond the students just carrying with them these immensely important skills that they're going to use later on in life, and the confidence building of standing in front of a room and making yourself heard and clear and communicating well. They also keep alive the culture of the speech team as I remember it, in everybody having each other's backs day in, or tournament in, tournament out. We do this great exercise called highs and lows at the end of every speech tournament, where everybody lists something that really went really well at the tournament and something that was a challenge for them. And through that, we all just echo, like, it's okay, or we celebrate with each other. And I just don't remember ever having a bond like that before I came here and was a part of this speech team. So I'm just really proud of them for holding each other up that way.
Where are the national tournament? There's nationals at?
It's in Des Moines.
Oh, that's too bad.
And next year, too. Well, the headquarters of the National Speech and Debate Association is in Des Moines, Iowa.
Convenient for them.
So, yeah.
Nowhere fun or interesting then.
Yeah, well, we're just excited to go. Our
Well,
kids are so
I'm kind of regretful that
Six
it wasn't in Des Moines a couple of years ago. I would have been able to go see Casey when she was in it. That would have been
Last
a lot
time
of
we
fun.
went was when we were in Louisville. Last time we had folks make it into like the top 14 in the nation, which is a really cool semifinals trophy, is in 2021, but it was online. So when we went to Louisville, Casey got into the top 60. We have kids here that when they're going to nationals, they're going all the way. They're so I cannot tell you how it's the seniors all the way down to the 7th graders. It's the culture we've built that they don't want to stop, and I'm just so proud of them. When we left state, I was just like in awe, and I knew there's something very special about this year, and it's because of the way the seniors led, and just everyone was on the same page. And so I don't care if we're going to, they have a corn cob on this shirt. Like, I don't care where we're going. We're going to nationals. So we're excited.
That's cool. I want to add, first of all, congrats to all of you as students and to you as a coaching team. So for the students that are here, brief history lesson, because you don't know maybe the depth of the history of Fairmont speech, but I say this every year, arguably and historically our most successful extracurricular program, hands down. And to say that is absolutely commendable to you as kids for carrying on that tradition, and for Mr. Duffy, Mr. Walker, and Mrs. Walker to carry that on as well. Because you don't know other coaches other than them. They've been your coaches your whole, but when we hired Miss Perry at the time, she came in as a new teacher, fresh out of college. We interviewed her, and I believe we offered you the job that day. We didn't know we were getting Mr. Walker at that time as part of the team. But for you to put in the time, energy, and effort to carry on the legacy that was already established is really difficult to do. So I commend both of you as coaches for doing that, and Miles, you for coming on board. Thank you. We didn't have 3 speech coaches until Miles came into the picture, and as a school district, we've supported that for the success of the program, for you as kids to make sure you're getting what you need to carry on that tradition to continue the successes. So excellent work. Congratulations to all of you.
I was on the speech before with your brother, Miles. Cliff and Roxy had a real juggernaut of a program, and they might even they would agree. You've taken it to the next level. I feel like every year we've been here, it's like more people are. Dan's daughter's going to nationals. We got more going to nationals. It's every time you guys come here, it's just another level, and it is super impressive. And I'm going to make one of my kids be in the program. One of them is showing interest, so I won't have to actually force them. But like every student should want to participate in your program because it's elite is probably an understatement. It really is.
Thank you.
I know at one point I counted it up a couple of years ago because I found the records from the State High School League website. But with your new champions here this year, I think Fairmont in history is on, I believe, 20 different individual state champions and right around 200 medalists all time over the years at state too. So that's the way to own the room.
Yeah, thank you. And I
Okay.
There's like one person who tries to do like archives of it. We were just looking at it yesterday. But what I want to say is the best part about, thank you for everything that you've highlighted, our successes. We're very proud. My favorite thing about this season in particular is the way that they congratulate each other. And they don't talk, like when they give their highs, it's about their teammates. So that's what I'm here for. So thank you for doing that for each other. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Give you one clap like you always do at the speech there. There you go.
It seems to me that we might need to look into whether or not we are adequately displaying the success of that program in a very public, prominent place in our building.
Yeah. Well, this year they had the seniors of the group that are now exiting had their banners displayed on the Performing Arts Center wall for the first time that we ever done that. So baby step, but absolutely.
Yep. Good.
All right. We also have a presentation from Mr. Nick Peace in the State FFA Convention.
No big deal. You got to follow the people that do speech at a high level. Just raise the bar for you, Nick.
That's right. Well, that's what I'd like to do that. So on April 21st to the 23rd, I took students to both the University of Minnesota, both St. Paul campus and the Minneapolis campus for the 90th annual Minnesota State FFA Convention. I had I had 4 teams with 2 state degree earners, 1 band member, and 2 delegates. My 4 teams were ag mechanics, ag sales, livestock judging, and horse evaluation. So we took off on Sunday on April 21st from Fairmont. I took 2 vehicles. Luckily for us, they wanted to put some miles on a charter bus. So instead of charging us for the charter bus, they gave us a regular price bus. And our kids got to kind of feel pretty special going up to the state convention in a charter bus. So thanks to Minnesota Motor Bus Company for allowing us to do that. Our bus driver was Bill Zender. He did a fabulous job chauffeuring us around. And I will say, being around that University of Minnesota campus in Minneapolis is not an easy place, even with a car. And so he did a phenomenal job keeping everybody safe. And so just like to thank Bill for doing such a great job with us there. As we got there, I had also taken another Suburban where I had 4 kids with me. I had a band member that needed to get up to Huntington Bank Stadium ahead of everybody for band practice. So I was mostly kind of a rover with this time where I was going back and forth, both checking in our chapter, checking in kids, as well as the hotel. And I then I got back with everybody. Once I dropped my student off, got all of our FFA gear checked in, and then got checked into the hotel, got kids at the hotel, and said, here, just kind of hang out here for a little bit. And that's what they did. They were very well behaved that first day. We went on a chapter dinner, which we didn't do last year, but we went to Buca di Beppo, which is an Italian restaurant in Minneapolis, where the kids unanimously decided to tell the waitress that it was my birthday, and I was totally embarrassed. And they sure had fun with it, but I guess it all has to be in good fun. I didn't get angry, and they got their laugh. So after we did that, went back to the hotel, and kids just kind of basically relax a little bit. And I don't know if any of you have ever taken kids on these overnight treks, but you, as the adult, you don't really sleep much. You want to make sure everybody's where they're supposed to be. And these kids did a very good job. I was very, very proud of them. I only got one call, but I don't think it was my kids. I think it was another chapter's, because mine were pretty darn good. So we woke up the next morning on Monday. We went to both the State Fairgrounds and the University of Minnesota St. Paul. I took the ag sales kids to the University of Minnesota, because that's where the contest was at Rutten Hall at about 8 o'clock in the morning. I then went to the State Fairgrounds, caught up with our Region 7. We help out with both nursery landscaping as well as the horse judging, and so I helped out with the horse judging again, like I did last year. After our contests were over, we had a choice. I had the kids go back to the motel room where most of them slept, but I had to stay back and wait for our ag sales team. They did not get done there till about 3 o'clock. So for me, it was a lot of running around, checking on kids, both at the hotel and making sure everything was good, while still keeping a tab on my ag sales kids. Once I got them all set up, we went back to the motel and got ready for session 3, which would have been our state degree session. We made it there for the prelude because our band member Bryn Gustafson was playing, and I wanted to make sure that all the students were there to help support her being a part of the percussion section of the state band. We then went and stayed for the whole part, and once our students got their degrees, we were able to take off, and kids were just really tired that night, so they went to bed, slept throughout the whole night, woke up the next morning for the 4th session, which was at 8 o'clock in the morning. So again, these are early mornings for most of these kids because they don't like waking up early. I'm sure most of you are parents. Getting kids out of bed can be a little bit brutal, and these kids were there when I said we're leaving at 8. They were there at 7:45 ready to go. So again, shout out goes out to the parents who've done a wonderful job with these kids. They then stayed for the 4th session, and I then sent the bus back, which is around noon, so the kids can kind of get back accustomed into their normal daily routine. And anybody that wanted to stay back for the 5th session, I said I'll stay there with them. As long as you guys want to stay here, I'll be here also. And so we stayed for that 5th session, got done right around 3 o'clock on Tuesday, made it back home here right around 6 o'clock, which kind of makes it for late night for me. And I got the kids back safe and sound home, and I then went to work the next day. You know, like it was nothing. Then we had prom that next week, in which they helped ask me to chaperone. So it's been a busy time for me this last few weeks, but I'm enjoying it. Overall, we did have one team crack the top 10, and that was our livestock judging team. They were 10th overall, and so big thanks goes out to their coach, Dr. Jeff Kurt, who spent many hours with these kids going over livestock photographs, videos, and such, and teaching these kids how to do reasons for livestock judging. Overall, we had a silver with the horse team, a silver with the ag mechanics team, and bronze for the ag sales. So overall, I was very happy with all the students. They behaved very well, and I'm looking forward to it again next year. So any questions from you guys?
Was it actually your birthday?
No.
It wasn't. Okay.
No, they did that last year to me. We had FFA Day with the Minnesota Twins, and my birthday was like it took place on like the 21st. My birthday was the 19th, and they're like, "Well, isn't it the 19th?" I said, "Yeah," and then they told the waitress that, and I'm like, "God, please don't do this." So they found out what kind of irks me, and I guess it's all in good fun, but it's still not all that much fun for me anyway.
I think you said this right away, Nick, but how many total students?
There was 19 total students, 19. And then I had one chaperone, Mrs. Ann Kurt, and she did a great job keeping those kids in line. There's something about having a strong female presence there that really whips some of those young men into shape. It really does a good job, and so I was very, very pleased with how she handled everything. She was very committed, kept communication with me, and kept all the kids in line. So it went very well.
Thanks for your commitment to the program. I know you'll be getting a new team member on the adult side next year, so we'll look forward to continued growth and expansion in more reports from the national and state FFA conventions. So
Yes,
thank
yeah,
you.
it'll be a lot more. Well, it'll be a little less work for me, but still just as much. And that's just going to be the way it is. And I also want to say, for those of you, ag flower sales are going on. We started last weekend, and we'll be going through this weekend, as well as we have our FFA banquet, 5:30 here at the elementary on Saturday the 18th. So all of you guys are welcome. Maybe some of you will show up. But just want to throw out that open invitation for everybody.
Can you explain to the public how the flower sales work?
So what we do is we work with Smith's Greenhouse. We get flowers. It's a fundraiser for FFA. I have my greenhouse class. They start growing these. Most of what we have in there right now, these kids started from seeds. And if anybody's ever tried growing seeds in here, it can be very difficult. It's like kind of like a small child or small animal. You got to kind of really ease it up. You can't do too much to it, and then you have to take care of it. And as you start going from these small little seeding pots, you have to start getting to bigger pots. So kids have to learn how to transplant these different seeds. And then they start understanding what root rot is, what blight is, why there's discoloration in the leaves. And so I said to the kids, I don't have all the answers because they're looking to me for everything. And I said, I don't have everything. You're going to have to start looking this stuff up on their own. And that's kind of when you start to see them grow, where now all of a sudden they're like, okay, this is a potassium deficiency. Okay, so let's find a fertilizer that has a little more potassium in it. So they're starting to look that stuff up. Let's look for, nitrogen. Let's get these things big. Some kids, you got to see they really took off, and they were very confident from the get-go with it. Others were very timid. And what I'm kind of seeing now towards the end of the year here, those who are timid are now those ones that are just into it, looking possibly at careers in horticulture. And so for me, it's very nice to see. I like seeing that growing of these kids. It's the hands-on part that, if it dies, it dies. And they might feel a little bad about it. Some kids might have a hard time or might have really not care about a bad grade on a test, but they're really going to get upset when a deer eats their tomato plants. And I didn't know some of those kids could be that way. And that's what happens. So then they started looking up, well, how do I get deer out of here? And there's a bunch of, humane methods. But one of them I said was capsaicin, spray that on there, which is the fiery part from peppers. And I've also been growing peppers in there, and some kids were trying to test out if they could try those. And so I was like, if you do it, I'll do that. So take a little bite of a pepper, and some kids are like, wow, this is really good. And others are thinking, this was dumb to do. And, it kind of gives them a little thought because we have so many peppers in there, we have so many tomatoes in there, that this is kind of what you guys are working towards. This is what you guys can grow. Tomatoes are the most grown gardening plant in the United States. And so I decided, hey, let's get some heirloom varieties, which stuff that you can't always find at different stores here in Fairmont. So our students did a very good job of getting those going. And if you guys take a look in there, some of those are really, really needing to be planted in the ground. But kids did a great job, and I'm very proud of what they've done.
So what are the hours that you're open?
So we'll be there from 10 to 3 on Saturday and 11 to 2 on Sunday. And probably next week also. We still have a lot of stuff to go through. I just got a message from Smiths that they want to sell us some more petunias to go through. And so we'll see if we can do it. Hopefully we can move them through. Petunias that we grew aren't selling very well because they're just, people like certain colors, and I didn't get the right colors this time.
And where should people park when they come?
Yep, right there in the south parking lot of the school, right in front of the new ag wing. And come on right on back. I'll put a sign out, kind of direct people there. And so come on out and see us. Most of the kids, they kind of like being out there. I had some really good workers last week. They did row ditch pickup, and then they came out to help out with the greenhouse, sacrificing your Saturday with me. So I think that's what we had fun with, and they seem to have a good time. And that's what it's all about, trying to get these kids responsible, learning how to count back money, how to, know your plant, know what you're selling.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes.
Your enthusiasm for the program is very evident, and I'm sure
good.
your
Thank you.
students
Appreciate
love
that.
that too. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Happy birthday.
All right, moving on to, we have our robotics season report from Sam and Cindy Wieselman, and a student I believe is here. We have more? Oh,
Two team members volunteers are also helping with the cameras.
The young men that run the cameras too are involved.
Keep running the stuff. You're good. All right. Getting this right. We good? Okay. So, yep. Thanks for having us, everybody. I am Sam Wieselman, the head coach of the Fairmont robotics team here. So, just kind of give an overview of the program for those who don't know. Essentially, robotics gets a new game or a new engineering challenge every year where the team has to design, fabricate, wire, and program a robot to complete a set of engineering challenges. Not only do we have to build this robot, but we only have about 8 weeks to do it. So it's a big time crunch, and it's solving a very challenging problem in a short amount of time. Students work with adult mentors from local industry to learn the skills necessary to design and build these robots. So this goes all the way down from learning the very basics to helping them learn debugging skills and learning what it's like to be an engineer or a kind of a STEM problem solver in the real world. Not only do they get the opportunity to learn what it's like working in industry, but these companies also get the ability to start building the next generation of skilled workers and hoping to get that feedback going where these students, they work with them during the robotics program, they maybe go to college, graduate, go to tech school, and then come back and work in local industry. And we have several actually team alumni who are great examples of this. I believe of the adults helping with the program, I believe 7 of them are Fairmont alumni who work in technical fields. So not only are students in the robotics program learning technical skills, but they also learn how to kind of run the team almost like a small business. So the team raises a bunch of money from the community every year. They produce marketing materials for social media, and they also compete for judged awards, such as the Entrepreneurship Award and awards through impacting your community by spreading awareness and education through STEM. And so in the past, the team has helped with various volunteer activities, such as helping with a summer STEM camp for all the students in Martin County, helping Girl Scouts get their robotics badge, helping run and coach middle school robotics teams, and also running a kind of a fun event where we had little robots at the robots at the library. We called the robot petting zoo. So kids just getting close to them and trying things out. And that's just the top level list. There's many, many more. So a little overview of the team. The team started in 2009, making this the team's 16th season and making it nearly the oldest sustaining robotics team outside of the metro area. I believe it's a tie with us and 2 or 3 other teams now for oldest rural team. This year we had 24 students in the senior high program and 10 students in the junior high program. We have 11 volunteer mentors who come in, so they all vary in different industries, but most of them are engineers or have a technical background. So it's pretty cool to see all these different adults kind of get to work with these kids and teach them the skills that normally you'd have to go to college to learn or take a formal class. They kind of get to do that and channel it towards their passions. This year we competed in the Duluth Regional. So we take the whole group up there for a big 3-day competition. There were 60 other teams there, and we ended up placing sixth overall there. And then a few weeks later, we went to our second competition in Iowa and Cedar Falls. It's called the Iowa Regional. There we came with a 3rd place finish after some pretty tough losses and some maybe controversial calls and some roughing things that you watch the replay video too many times and have regrets, but that's how it goes. We also walked away from that event with the Autonomous Award. At the beginning of our matches, the robot has to drive itself for the first 15 seconds. And we were recognized by the judges there, both with through interviews with our students of their understanding of programming and coding, and then also watching the robot on the field, and identified us of those, I believe, 55 teams there as the team with the best autonomous program. So we're pretty proud of that. A lot of sophomore kids on the team were really happy with that. Yeah, it was just a really big honor for us. It was our first time winning that award. So after that event, that was the end of our regular season. I also wanted to call out a student who was recognized on the All-State team, Isaac Sheard. The All-State is a new thing that the robotics, or through the Robotics Coaches Association that was added last year. And only 18 students in the entire state get recognized. And Isaac was recognized in the programming kind of subgroup, which is only 3 students. So if you think the entire state, 3 students, no classes, everybody, so that was pretty, really proud of that and thought it was pretty a well-deserved award. The other thing I wanted to talk about here was last year the team received a large matching grant, which the school matched from the Schmeckley Foundation, to help fill out the old wood shop, which is now the STEM robotics room at the high school, with a bunch of advanced manufacturing and programming equipment. Once complete, this project will provide the team and classes with opportunities to learn real-world hands-on skills for years to come. We got about, I would say, maybe a third to half of it done during this season. It happened, of course, right during our season, but we got a bunch of it to work, and the students are already seeing benefits.
To your knowledge, Sam, do other school districts have anything like that? Is that uncommon, or is that unique to us, perhaps?
I would say it's definitely unique. It's hard to I would say the top teams are all, that's kind of the way it seems to be going. A lot of schools are looking at building STEM additions or renovating areas or turning entire gyms into STEM workshops. So it's pretty cool that we're definitely on the leading edge of it. And
are those more metro-based teams that are doing that type of stuff, or are you seeing?
Pretty decent mixture, actually. I know Becker High School, for example, just built a $6 million STEM dedicated addition to their school. But it's really fun talking to all the other coaches and other teams, explaining what we have, and them going, just basically drooling and being jealous of us. So that's pretty cool. But it puts a little pressure to perform too. Like, you've got all this space. What are you guys doing? So, but I did just want to take a moment to thank the school board and the school district for all the support on this project. It was a lot of work, and it definitely could not have happened without all the help of administration, IT, custodial, and the buildings team, and the activities department. And support like this is a great example of why our team has lasted 16 years, and other teams have popped up for 3 or 4 years, had either district support fall off, a head coach, or a major donor fall off and fallen apart. So just want to say thank you to everyone for keeping us going there. And now I'd like to have the students talk.
My name is Sam Grogan. I'm a junior on the team, and I'm the captain and the CAD lead. Last year, our former CAD lead left, so I had to take on a few more roles as driver and learning how to run our CNC so we could manufacture our own parts, and also furthering my knowledge on CAD to fill in that role.
I like how you assumed, Sam, we knew what you were talking about just now.
Hello, my name is Max Potter. I am mainly a programmer on the robotics team. I joined this year. It's probably going to be my last year, sadly, since I'm a senior. I wish I would have joined earlier, unfortunately. I do regret that, but I have had great memories on the robotics team, and it's been amazing to help others, help the team, and just being overall a good leader when it comes to programming and just having fun in general.
Hello, my name is Jacob Murphy. I'm on the build team, and I'm also a media co-lead. So I'm taking pictures of everybody, taking pictures of the robot, making videos of the robot, etc. One thing I learned a lot was, I learned how to be better socially and how to have better teamworking skills, because you have to work with each other a lot. Sometimes you're not good at something, so you have to go to somebody else, learn it from them, etc. And one of my favorite parts about going to events is how social you get to be. There's so many other people around your age, not around your age, with different experiences than you, different cultures that you get to meet. It's a lot of fun. It's one of my favorite parts about being in robotics, and yeah.
And that's one of the things I would like to highlight on there too, is that it's really fun that there's 24 people on the team, and there's one robot, which means everyone has to work together. And it's just really fun to, for those of you who have been in sports, you know what you learn from that and what you take away from working together every day, coming to practice and grinding. And it's just really fun to see there's other outlets besides traditional sports for students to get that experience. So maybe you don't necessarily have to be able to run or sprint or jump high, but you can put your mind to work and still get those awesome team building experiences. And the bonds they're building is just as strong as any other activity. So really proud of that. That's all I had.
I would just add too, Sam, you alluded to the collaboration, from the community support to the work that you do behind the scenes. I know your mom isn't on this side of the camera, but she's been an integral part of helping and continuing to keep STEM and robotics in the forefront of our conversations through the youth camps and different things. And to see the growth of the program is exciting. Obviously, a year ago, a state championship raises those expectations, like you said, not necessarily from our community or from school leadership, but internally, then you have your own expectations. And to develop that space, to have a defined practice room now that is solely for robotics for them to map out. We have some height restrictions, which present some different challenges, but nonetheless, you have an entire classroom space that is solely for the practice of the robot, which I think from my experiences in different schools that I've toured is also unique, to not have to set up and take down the arena, to know you have that space there, is just things that we've worked together, meaning the robotics team and under your leadership and as a school district, to make sure we continue to grow the program, because it's an asset, it's a unique thing that we do. So to have, all different entities tonight has just been cool, from speech to FFA to robotics, and all the different ways that we connect the dots for our kids, because you're the reasons why we do what we do, and the reasons that we're here. So thanks for your time and energy and effort, and for your leadership too, Sam, of the program.
Yep, absolutely. And I forgot to mention that under that tarp we do have the robot, so we'll be running that in the hallway after the meeting if anyone wants to say.
Those additionally, we could hear from our office today the shrieks and screams from the elementary kids as you were out in the common space. It was so cool, and I saw one of the videos. I think Jacob, maybe you probably took it then. Or you weren't there today? Okay, my apologies. But somebody took the video of the robot shooting the rings and one of our elementary students trying to catch them on their arms. So that was pretty fun to see too. But
yeah, anyone who wants that opportunity, after this, step right up.
Look at you, building a base. More and more excitement. Well done, everybody.
Thank you. And now for our final report tonight, we have Christy Bulfer presenting on our QComp.
Hi, I'm Christy Bulfer. I'm our QComp coordinator. Last year, we undertook a huge transformation in our program. We updated to the new format that the state was allowing us to do, which was a little bit ahead of most of the other schools. It made making adjustments and changes simpler. In the past, any change we made just got piled on top, so it got really difficult to keep track of what our plans were and following them. So this year with the new template, we have set up monthly meetings between the superintendent, the union president, and myself on a monthly basis to try to help keep systems. So as we've been coming through the year, we've been reviewing how things are going and what's changing. And so the annual report this year is quite easy to complete. I do have a very much more detailed than what is that I'll share with Mr. Trado and we'll sign for the change. The only real change we have to make is one addition to our peer review facilitators team. We have 12, 6 at the high school, 6 here. We added one for our non-instructional frameworks so that they could have their own specific training on looking for evidence as they are doing peer reviews with each other. All in all, the year has gone really well. We haven't had too many difficulties. We had 100% of our teachers meet their proficiency for teacher evaluation this year. We're waiting on some tests yet to be completed to find out about our individual goals. We moved from measuring PLC goals to individual goals this year, so each teacher individually earns their performance pay on that. But the testing window isn't quite done, so you can check some of that out. We do keep a website that keeps all of our information and required documentation on it. So, and I think that's about it. Our budgets are in, and we'll go over those with Mr. Trado and submit it to the state, and then I'll report to STCC. Any questions?
Thanks, Chrissy. Last year at this time there was a lot of behind-the-scenes work that was done to revamp the plan and really refocus from a different type of instructional coaching model. Anecdotally, we've gotten good feedback from our staff. And for anyone who's watching or watches this later, QComp is a state-run plan that Q stands for quality compensation for our certified staff. And the funding that we get for that from the state of Minnesota is directly tied to our student enrollment, which then allocates to our teachers, and those funds go to quality compensation measures to our staff. So just wanted to give a brief summary of that. I mean, for us here, it's like we know the language, and
talking in all the
if there
lingo.
anyone who's wondering, that's
Yeah.
the gist of the program.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a very simplified report for a program that has
It's
a whole
huge.
lot to it.
It is
So-
it is a lot.
Yes.
But I
Yep.
kept her in 5 minutes.
You
and
don't
I
want to
appreciate
upstage
detailed report.
the
You can have
national
it.
speech team
It's
and
not
the
fair to come
defending
after
state
all these
champ
amazing
robotics team.
people. There is a lot to it, and if you want more information, I'm happy I could talk about it all day long, back and forth, up and down. But the most important things is it's going well. We're adding one position. The budget is balanced.
Is that
and
position going to flow between both buildings?
for so that's a K-12. So it's school psychologists, nurses,
There's
social
staff
workers.
in both buildings, so that
I should mention too, so the TD&E, our teacher development evaluation, which is the actual statute that is required. QComp is the funding source that we applied for to be able to help maintain that. So we collaborate with the administrators to work with what we have and then what the teacher leaders are doing. So the peer review is new in that we're no longer having to fund 2 instructional coaches. We fund 1, and every teacher gets into into another classroom twice a year. And so what they're learning about at that point is how we are maintaining fidelity to our peer reviews. So coming in, looking what evidence is according to the frameworks that help reflection for teachers that affect instruction, that then affect, the whole trickle down. So, but the state law, so I attend a lot of trainings, and the state law is being updated. 25, 26, we have to have the new frameworks integrated with cultural responsiveness. And so last year already did this for ours when we submitted it, and we're just working on the non-instructionals for next year. So it's kind of fun when I go to some of those meetings and Woodbury's like, oh, wow, guys, how you doing? So we're doing well. But any other questions, thoughts, comments?
Thank you, Christy.
Have a good night.
All right, we'll move on to Superintendent Trado for his report and calendar.
Thanks, Nicole. As you see the student enrollment report, we are down a few students, all at the junior senior high school for a variety of reasons. Some students have moved, some students have changed their academic programming by choice at the end of the school year. So that is reflected there. As buildings and grounds updates, we're nearly 2 years into operations of our new CTE building and still addressing punch list items. With some recent driving rains in the spring, we had water getting into the building, still working with the contractors to remedy some of those things. So you would think with a new building, the quality construction would be there, and for the most part it is. However, we still have things that we're dealing with, and our maintenance crew has done a great job with that. The new Cardinal Park Fieldhouse is fully complete. Just a few items to address concerning the shingles on the roof, but it is fully operational. We're getting a lot of positive feedback on that upgrade in facilities there. One thing that I haven't talked a lot about, our athletic training room at the junior senior high school is currently being renovated as well. Small scale project that can have a big impact. We're moving the space and making it more organized and usable for those that use it for our student athletes. Some Hunt Farm updates. Recently, Jessica and I have been meeting with some investment brokers to assess our options for investing the proceeds from the sale of the land. Our most up-to-date investment options are going to be reviewed at next week's Operations and Finance Committee meeting to make some determinations on how to best move forward there. Our in-person meetings have so far been with local brokers, and so if the numbers work out, that is our goal, to keep those dollars locally. Additionally, our students have already visited the Hunt Farm site. We've already completed more field trips than we have to that property in the last half a dozen years in the last 6 months, so that's great to see. Hopefully get them out there again at the end of this week for the planting process, as well as things dry out here. One thing we did at the end of last week, last Friday, May 10th, Open Door Health Center representatives were here to continue discussions on moving forward with that project with the goal of having information ready for families at the back-to-school registration August 9th and 12th and have operations begin with a menu of services for the start of the school year to be provided for our students. The advisory committee is also in the process of being established and will include community stakeholders involved there as well. Tomorrow will be a part of interviews for a school resource officer replacement with the retirement of Officer Bass. So I'll provide an update to the board in the near future there. Just a reminder, our next school board meeting in 2 weeks on May 28th will be here, still at 5:15, but will be a work session format, so will not be televised, or excuse me, streamed or recorded.
Thank you. Any questions for Superintendent Trado? All right, thank you. We'll move on to financial business. We have a donation. Dan?
We have 2 donations that are listed in Appendix A, and I would move that we accept both according to Minnesota statutes. The first being from the Kiwanis Early Risers Group in the amount of $400 designated for school supplies, and also to accept an anonymous donation in the amount of $1,250, which is partial student tuition for the Minnesota ACE camp. Again, I move to accept those resolutions with thanks to our donors.
Second.
We have a motion by Dan, a second by Mike. Any discussion? Roll call vote. Dan?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. Mike?
Aye.
Mari? Aye. Thank you. Motion carries. And now we have our financial reports and bills. Jessica?
Yes, so you have in front of you the wire transfers from March 9th through April 8th. The April 2024 single check run and the payment of tonight's May 14th, 2024 bills. Just like to point out on tonight's bills that are being approved, we do have, there's partial payment to J.H. Larson for $27,600. Those are LED lights to replace the bad ones at the varsity softball field as part of the LTFM. And then you'll notice another, as Candy alluded to, the different projects going on. The softball building, we have a contract payment in there of $13,400, and we are nearing the end of our contract and payment on that project as well. So that should be coming through the bills in the next couple of months.
I'll make a motion that we approve the transfers for March 9th, 2024 through May 8th, 2024, as well as the April 2024 single checks and payment of the May 14th, 2024 bills.
I'll second it.
Thank you. We have a motion by Mike, second by Mari. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have no old business, so we'll move to new business.
This is an important one.
Yes.
I thought we should table it, but I reconsidered. I make a motion that we approve for Wednesday, May 29th, 2024. It's the last day of school for our senior students who have assignments completed, fines paid, detention time served, and are on track to graduate in 2024.
I'll second it.
Thank you. We have a motion by Mike, second by Mari. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
I have another important one.
Oh.
We should limit the number of times we meet during the summer.
All right.
So I will make a motion that we approve the 2024 summer school board meeting schedule, which I believe is Appendix B. And I'll read the times that we will meet. Tuesday, June 11th at 5:15. Tuesday, July 9th at 5:15. Tuesday, August 13th at 5:15, and then again on Tuesday, August 27th at 5:15, and all 4 of those meetings will be in this current location, the William Budd room at the Fairmont Elementary School.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion by Mike, second by Dan. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Motion carries. All right, we have resignations.
I'm just going to keep going. We have 2 resignations that have been tendered to us, and I will make a motion that we accept the following. resignation of Jamie Anderson, a high school special education teacher, with an effective date of June 5, 2024. And number 2, Natalie Brown, an elementary paraprofessional, with an effective date of May 10, 2024.
Thank you. I have a motion. Do we have a second? I'll second it. Thank you. I have a motion by Mike, second by Mari, to approve the aforementioned resignations. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And we have employment.
Principals are requesting that we hire Lori Putney, elementary paraprofessional, salary step 1, effective May 13th, 2024. Shelley Moeller, early childhood special education teacher, salary of MA step 17, effective August 26th, 2024. Andrew Peterson, high school paraprofessional, salary of step 2, effective August 26th, 2024. And Kiara Curry, an elementary 4th grade teacher, salary of BA step 1, effective August 26th, 2024.
Second.
I have a motion by Mari, second by Dan. Any discussion? I'm sorry, second by Mike. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Moving to board and committee reports.
Staff welfare, it was long, I was there, and I honestly can't remember what we talked about. Honestly, I don't remember.
Except it was really long.
It was long. We talked about the Hunt Farm situation. No, that was the operations committee. I'm getting it mixed up. Well, Julie was there. She's not here. Who else was there?
Mari was there.
All right, you were there. What did we talk about?
Well, there weren't. It was more of an update meeting than
Yeah.
an action-based meeting. We went over some theoretical options for staffing moving forward based on
for the next year.
Budget parameters, and looked at some enrollment projections and just tried to project out some of those things, some philosophical building level administration things that they were considering to best meet the needs of our students and potential impacts on our staff, as well as some of the positions that we approved tonight. We were going over processes for the 4th grade position, talked a little bit about early childhood. To find an experienced educator there is advantageous, and just general things that can be impacting, and other updates on just where we're at with all of our non-certified staff and negotiations as well. Like 13 different contracts that we're in the middle of negotiating there. So I think that was generally the outline of what
it
we
was. That's
Okay, thank you, Superintendent.
we did have 3 weeks between our last board meeting and this one because of the way the calendar fell. So
you were
it
there
has
at the
been a
meeting,
while.
so what he says is accurate. Mari and I
Yes.
remember now. Thank you.
Well, we're down to maybe 1 or 2 open positions left now. Then.
Yeah, so we have the high school school nurse position. We have received a handful of applications for that. I talked to Principal Brusky this morning. They will be refining that process, reviewing the applications, and I believe going to do interviews within the next week. We also have some staffing things to consider at the elementary with for our current 2nd graders, which are a larger class of 142 students. Currently have 6 sections. We're going to carry that section into 3rd grade next year, so we'll have 6 instead of 5 sections like we traditionally do in 3rd grade. So some decisions still need to be made there with staffing. Those are a couple for sures. We still have an open CTE teacher at the junior senior high school. They are looking at alternative scheduling options to cover that within if we do not find a qualified candidate. And then finalizing plans for an elementary EL position. We hired 1 additional FTE at the high school and finalizing that as well. So yeah, if we're very in a good spot right now in terms of what our options are for staffing.
Thank you. We held the Fairmont Elementary Student Council listening session on the 7th. Jen, Mari, Superintendent Tradale, and I were present, and it was great to see these 6th grade students and how they've grown in their leadership roles since the beginning of the year, and some of them previous years when we've met with them as well. And they are very excited to go over to the 7th, 8th grade building at, the junior senior high school, and they talked to us about some things they were nervous about, but they have a lot of excitement also. We asked if there was one thing that they would wish was different. I believe the overwhelming response we got was more physical activity time.
Yeah.
Whether that was inside or outside, but that it be daily, especially here in Minnesota, is kind of challenging, but that they very much appreciate being able to have physical activity on a regular basis. So it was very good. It was fun to see, and hopefully we'll see them again next year when we meet with the junior high student council. And we also have the CER Advisory Council meeting, Mari?
Yeah. The summer deadlines for the offerings are approaching, so if you're interested in any of those, please go ahead and go to the web store. There's a new offering of roller hockey that will be actually here at the elementary school. So also Cardinal Prime registrations are through July 24th. We talked a bit about that people probably don't have a true plan yet for next year, so we're going to start doing some email blasting as it gets closer to the beginning of the school year. The free park playground program starts on June 10th, and also the CER office has yard games, mini golf putters, hammocks that are available to rent.
Great. Thank you, Mari. Any questions about both meetings? All right.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Mike. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right. We have a motion, a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.